I'm Jeff Biggs, and I am the host of the Cowboys Squad Show. I wanted to see if the Cowboys could do it in back-to-back weeks. They could not.
I'm Iisha Morrison, and I am disgusted right now. Literally, not figuratively.
Glenn Stretch Smith, Cowboys can't score 30, so guess what? I get the L.
How about them Cowboys? It's the Cowboys Squad. Everything Dallas Cowboys every week. Covering all the big hits and game-changing plays from America's team the way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. Get ready and squad up. It's the Cowboys Squad Show, starting now.
How about them Cowboys, and how about that loss today? Wow. A Carolina shocker, to say the least, as the Cowboys can't handle their business, and they fall to the Panthers on the road by the final of 30-27. Welcome to the Cowboys Squad Show. As you heard, that is Iisha Morrison, along with former Cowboys coach Glenn Stretch Smith. This episode is brought to you by Mazda. Like our players, we sweat every detail because when you make every move count, pulling off the unexpected is only the beginning. Stay tuned later for highlights in this week's Moving the Game Forward. Mazda, move and be moved. Well, we were waiting for the Cowboys to make their move, Iisha and Coach, and it just did not happen. It was, as I said, I wanted to see if they could handle their business in back-to-back weeks on the road, and they could not. And while it was a huge win for the Panthers, obviously, this was a big-time loss for the Cowboys, and it just exposed kind of, for lack of a better phrase, one step forward, two big steps back. As good as last week was, the defensive issues are still there. And you nailed it, Coach. I kept thinking of that 30 number the entire game. Got to get to at least 30 or so to win it, and they could not do it.
Right.
Man.
And it's going to happen I'm sorry, Iisha, it's going to happen every week. I mean, this is going to be an every week ordeal. This is a defense that does not play with great technique. They do not play with great leverage. They do not do a lot of things that you would expect guys to do. And guess what? They got you a critical stop. They got you a stop. They got you a 3 and out. And you offensively, you couldn't go get it done. So go get on the airplane. Don't do any finger pointing. You had an opportunity offense. You make all the money. Go down and score. And they did some great things today. Pickens did some great things. I mean, there was some really good things to show on offense. But you had your chance, and you didn't get it done. So guess what? You get your ass a loss and going back home.
I mean, I know that's the – listen, I don't get paid. You've been a coach before, Coach, so that's the stuff you supposed to say. But for me, as for me in my house, I think it's absolutely ridiculous that your offense has to put up 30 every week. I think it's off. I think at some point in time, the imbalance in offense and defense is gonna start showing up. And I just think the idea that your offense is gonna play clean football every single drive is not even realistic in football stands. So for me, I agree. The offense did get an opportunity to go up. They had an opportunity to kind of work the clock. I don't know why they decided to go east to west when they had been going north to south all game, especially in the passing game and some of those zones. But this defense, I mean, the front seven to the back end, the miscommunications, the busted coverages, guys not being able to I mean, your edges got killed all day. All day. Your defensive tackles could not shed all day. It was a lot of defensive tackles just catching Rico Dowdle's shoulder pad all day. It's unacceptable, and I'm hot. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, I know we got a job to do and everything, but this is ridiculous. It just, the defensive effort was just so all over the place today. I just feel like there has to be some real conversations about what they're going to do moving forward, or if even this season is salvageable at this point if this defense keeps playing like this.
I think Rico Dowdle just ran again. He just ran to the parking lot.
Please.
He just got 20 yards on that carry to his car.
And he told you Monday what he was going to do. That's the thing that really is so bothersome is he went out and challenged you and said, buckle it up.
Buckle up.
And you know what? He backed up what he said. That's not what I believe in. I'm one of those guys that believes in you talk with your helmet and your shoulder pads, but you know what? He spoke and then he went out and backed it up, and there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, I mean, he said, and the reason why he was able to back it up because he's seen what other people seen on film. He saw the opportunity there. He saw that, that he could get that they could probably. He felt like this offensive line, like you said, Coach. I've been talking about it all week. They have some talent on this offensive line. He felt like they was going to be able to move Dallas off the ball, and they did all game. I mean, we're going to be able to look at the advanced statistics as the week goes on, but I can guarantee you he wasn't getting touched for 5-6 yards.
No.
And if it was a touch, it was a love touch. It was a gentle caress. There was no physicality. There was nothing to deter him from continuing to hit the hole like he needed to. Your defensive tackles left your linebackers out to dry, and vice versa. Some of the best run stops you had were from a safety. From Donovan Wilson playing the line of scrimmage. Your safety is filling in the run better than anybody in your front seven. It's unacceptable. I'm hot. I know y'all ain't seen me turned up like this, but I'm telling y'all, like, I learned football at a Barney level because I am just now getting into film and stuff. So what I know to be true is the base level things in football. That's what I'm still getting a grasp on. So, Coach, when you don't see, even for me, when I don't see the base level things being done from a technical level, from just a soundness level, like we were talking about offline, Coach, it infuriates me because to me, that's just, you should just be doing that. Like that. Some of this stuff is just, you've been doing this since Pee Wee. Straight up.
You're right. You have every right to be upset. You have every right to be in the same position that there are a lot of fans in right now, which is they're very upset. They're very upset that a guy that was on this team could challenge your defense a week prior to playing them and go out and have 15 7+ yard runs. 15.
It was 14 when I tweeted about it. Ain't that better? Come on.
And then he got a 9-yard run at the end. So I hear you. It was, it's a maddening scenario. And guess what? Now the blueprint is out there for that. So the blueprint's out there with a secondary that doesn't play with great leverage. Now the blueprint's out there. They can run the football at you. You know what the blueprint is? Go score 30+ to win. It's that simple. I know it's hard to get on here and hear, but this is not going to change. I'm just telling you, it's not. There's no change in this. There's no personnel coming in here. There's no quick fix. There's no firing the defensive coordinator. There's no score more than 30 if you want a chance to win. It's just. And it's hard to say because guess what? That's not football. Football's about running and chasing the ball. And like you said, Iisha, being physical up front. And you know what? Your want to run starts with you, and your want to stop the run, it starts with you. So it did not look like the want to was even there when you talk about a safety coming up, and he's the hardest hitting guy on your defense.
Straight up. Or even for the fact that he's just reading the run better than your linebackers at that point. It was too much. And then, Coach, you talked about, the will to want to run and the will to stop the run. I thought that the offensive line, I know we're going to take a look, but I thought the interior of this offensive line really struggled with that rotation, that healthy rotation that the Panthers have at defensive tackle. They could not move those guys off a spot, and Dallas just could not get to the second level at all in the run game today. So that I think that was a huge reason why Dallas elected to just start passing the ball more. But yeah, I guess they were trying to keep him honest, but you honestly were getting behind the sticks, so it didn't help you for real.
Well, Rico Dowdle, a career high 30 carries in this game today, 183 yards. He also had the big touchdown catch, which was a huge emotional play before halftime, 4 catches for 56 yards. And that was, like you said, I mean, he called them out like a bingo number and delivered. And you don't see that a lot. You don't see that very often.
I mean,
No,
he knows
normally
these
you
guys.
would see, normally you would see someone respond to that with a,
That was after
a
the
different
half.
outcome than what you saw. And the other thing that I thought is that, hey, we've given a lot of, and they deserve a lot of credit, the Dallas offensive line. But guess what? They got whipped up front today too. I mean,
Sure did.
Javonte could got nothing going and got hit in the backfield multiple times. And so there's a lot of there again, blame to go around here, but it certainly is hard to get on here and talk about a defense that just, I mean, against Bryce Young. I like Bryce Young, but he threw probably 3 or 4 balls today that if he was at the beach wouldn't have hit the ocean. And you let them win.
I'm tired of you. I'm sick of you. but also too, I mean, coming into this game, you look at Bryce Young, the numbers drastically drop against pressure. And I don't understand some of the decision making when it comes to, I don't know if Dallas doesn't feel like they have the guys to get there in enough time to pressure. If you leave your back end more susceptible, if you pressure, I mean, that came to hurt you as well today, is the lack of pressure and the effect in the quarterback. I mean, he just has so much time to sit back there and operate, and the way that the run game was going for them, then, your guys are biting on every play action. I watched Carolina. They're not a heavy play action team, but they did it today. They're not a heavy under center team, but they did it today. You know why? Because it's a copycat league. So people are going to keep doing this against you. They're going to keep misdirecting you. They're going to keep using their running backs in play action and using them in the flats in the intermediate game. And there's nothing you can do about it. And also too, they're going to hit a couple of deep plays because they know your guys can't cover long enough for your front seven to get home. It's just ugly. And I like Coach said, I'm at a point to where I don't know if there's solutions either. And what I'm most worried about is, Coach, you talking about no finger pointing. Yeah, there's about to start being some finger pointing. There's about to start. Come on, like let's keep it a bill. There's gonna start being some tension, and I hope that I think Shotty is capable of working through that. But it's a lot to ask.
No, there's plenty of blame to go around. Again, there is plenty there, and I think you're correct. I think you're going to see some frustration from within, which could happen. But I think more than anything, my real concern about this football team is you've talked about it. It's a plagiarism business. Everybody watches the film and then they implement things that they think they can do that you've shown that you can't stop. And so that's definitely what's going to happen here. I keep saying this, and I don't want to sound like a damn parrot, but go score 35 and you don't have an issue.
All right, so let me ask you both this. So in addition to what you both have already said, which has been spot on, but last week, really good game for the defense against the Jets, the 5 sacks, everybody was feeling good. What happened today? What went wrong? Where was not only what happened, but the lack of any kind of real adjustment? Although, as Coach pointed out, they did get that fourth quarter stop that they needed, but still, by and large, giving those big plays, big first down runs every single possession. What did they miss? What did they do?
The other guys are on scholarship too. The last I checked, they paid the other
Carolina was better.
They pay the other team, and they're a very good offensive line. They are a very good offensive line. And you know what? They
were banged up though.
They went out. Yeah, they were a little banged up, and that's part of the NFL. You get 6 or 7 weeks in the year, you're banged up. You think Mac Jones isn't banged up going out to play today against Tampa? His ass is banged up. All you had to do was watch. last week. And no, I mean, they're banged up. But at the end of the day, Carolina has the highest paid offensive line in the league. And you know what? I'll bet you whatever I got in my pockets that, and what Dave Canales told his guys was, we are going to go assault this defense. We're going to go assault a defense that we should go assault. And that's exactly what they did. You'd like to see the other side of it. You would like to see Matt Eberflus flip on the clip of Rico Dowdle telling you Monday, buckle it up. I would like to have seen him flip that switch and challenge the defense. If he did, they didn't take the challenge very well.
No, and a few of the guys that was chirping, I seen them out there struggling to D. So I listen. What went wrong? Your question, Jeff. I think a big part of what went wrong is the fact that you were unable to run the ball and sustain drives in that way as well. Dallas did have to play most of the length of the field. You didn't get a whole bunch from your return game today with Turpin being out. But Dallas's inability to run the ball today, I think, took away their opportunities to really win time of possession, and at some point in time have to play keep away from an offense that you can't really stop defensively. Like I said before, I thought the interior of the offensive line struggled. We're going to look at film and see that, I'm sure. So that was part of it. The second part of it was the other side of the ball is that they couldn't stop nothing. They got 2 stops the whole game. So again, and that's what I'm saying, Coach. Like, that's what I'm saying about, like, I understand they got the big stop in the 4th, but baby, if they got one earlier in the game, maybe you're not even in that position. Maybe you're not even in that position to where your offense is in the 4th quarter again, having to put together a drive. It is not complimentary, and I think that is what is wearing on your team at this point. Also, too, Coach, I wanted to talk to you about this defensive tackle room. I'm wondering, that rotation is not a strong rotation. Kenny Clark is not a super young guy. I wonder, I feel like on film, I've seen this last 2 weeks him not be as efficient as he was in those first couple weeks of the season. Do you think this rotation has anything to do with, guys not getting adequate breathers or needing enough time? You know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like.
I do. Yeah,
sorry.
I'm sorry. I think there's some of that. And I think that you also have Jay Toye, who's a 7th round pick out of UCLA, who's, he's just a guy. He's just kind of a plugger in there. You have Mozzie, who, I mean, I don't even know if he was active today.
He was not active today.
Right. So that tells you how they feel about that scenario. And, Solomon Thomas, to me, is a little light.
He's a 3-tech.
He's a little light in the rear end to be in there. And I'm telling you, the 3rd play of the game, and it was, I'm not going to call any names, but I'm telling you, if you watch the 3rd play of the game, one of their guys got, and I'm talking about ejected out of there. He got knocked 8 yards off the football. And so what you're saying is correct. They don't really have anybody that they trust physically that can do what Clark and Odigizua can do. And then you saw Odigizua one time, he stunned, and I don't know what the call is, but he's stunted out, and the ball goes, and you would think if he's stunting out, somebody's got to be coming into that B gap, whether it's a linebacker or a linebacker and a safety, and literally nobody comes into the gap. And he's 8 yards down. And so he was 8 yards down the field before anybody ever touched him. And so that's the other thing is at the line of scrimmage and at the point of contact, this is not a very big or a very physical front. And so they just flat got exposed today. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, no, I think you make a good point about Jay Toia being, a youngin. He's and even for a defensive tackle, like his size, like he's still kind of light in the butt. He's more of a get up field type guy. I think my concern also too is with the edges, y'all. My God, the way that they were getting pinned inside today, and they just could not. I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen one of those tight ends take them out of there. A tight
Right,
end?
right. But think about this now. When we're talking about guys who are light on the inside, what is your natural reaction as a defensive guy to say, I got to get some guys kind
You
of
gotta
down in
come
the
help.
big
Yeah.
gaps.
They're
And
trying to
then
help.
when you're not physical enough, and I think Ezraku is going to be in time,
Oh, he's
he'll
fine.
be okay, but he's not physical enough. Then once he comes hard inside, I got a wrong shoulder this deal, and I got to set the edge on this play.
Mm.
He's not physical enough to do that. And so it really is. That's why I'm saying there's no magical fix here. There's no, well, let's flip this tarot card over and read my palm and give me some amazing turnaround. It isn't going to happen that way.
No, I agree. And you mentioned some of the stunts, coach. There was instances where I thought that I don't know, and I know different coaches are different, because I know Dan Quinn allowed the defensive line to call their stunts. So I don't know who's calling what, who has the liberties to do that. So I'm going to be careful with it. But I will say the timing. They were catching you and running some of these stunts. Some of those big runs were doing stunts. So I also think the timing in which that they're deciding to bring some pressure and stuff like that, whoever's decision this is, wasn't well executed either. And so I mean, you're damned if you do, you damned if you don't. It feels like right now, coach.
No, you're right. You're right. It's a day. You said it a little different than I did. I mean, I thought we were going to get the card flipped over, and it was going to be the one-eyed Jack, and all of a sudden we can make some magical call. It didn't happen that way. So,
No.
And I don't think it's going to happen that way. I just don't think, I just don't think it'll work.
All right. Well, when we come back, I have a little bit of an update on the defense I want to run by you, and also we need to talk about the offense a little bit. You already hit on that a little bit, but I want to dive a little bit deeper, talk about Dak and his performance as well. Monster game, quietly unnoticed for George Pickens. And so we'll get to that when we come back. Great to be with you. Wish it was after a win. This is the Cowboys Squad Show. All right, guys. Want to let you know that, the saying, look good, feel good, right? The problem is that most dress clothes only check one of those boxes. They look sharp, but may feel stiff or kind of hot, maybe high maintenance. And that's why there is Mizzen and Main. Mizzen and Main makes classic menswear and performance fabrics, so it's effortless to look sharp and feel comfortable. They actually invented the performance fabric dress shirt over 10 years ago, and they have perfected it ever since. If you've worn Mizzen and Main, you know how excited you get, and it's the feel of athletic wear, but the look of professional menswear. So right now, Mizzen and Main is offering our listeners 20% off your first purchase at mizzenandmain.com with promo code LOCKEDONNFL20. That's Mizzen, spelled MIZZEN, and Main, MAIN.com. Promo code LOCKEDONNFL for 20% off. And if you rather shop in person, you can find Mizzen and Main in stores in select states. And one more, got to give it up for our friends at Supply House and what they're doing, because it's, as you know, if you visit supplyhouse.com, you know a little bit about what they're about. When the opening whistle blows on a new repair, you got to get your crew moving forward with Supply House. Order today, see parts on your doorstep tomorrow. Over 280,000 plumbing, HVAC, and electrical items from the most trusted brands in the business. Their real-time inventory and honest lead times keep you from punting projects, while their industry-leading customer service always has your blind side covered. Their Trademaster perks, like priority shipping, and dedicated support make the whole process even smoother. So join the free Trademaster program today and score serious perks like priority shipping, lower prices, and dedicated support line. Visit supplyhouse.com to sign up for free and use promo code SHNFL5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Real people, real service. All right, back with you on the Cowboys Squad Show. Iisha Morrison and the coach, Glenn Stretch Smith. Cowboys fall in Carolina 30-27. Really quickly, this is just one, but Todd Archer, who covers the Cowboys for ESPN, did his little quick recap of the game, and he made a little note. He says, is it time to make drastic changes on defense? Is it time to make a trade for a legit pass rusher, a linebacker, or is it out of the realm of possibility they do something the Cowboys have not done before, and that is make an in-season coordinator change? So that's kind of setting the tone, I think, for what the week is going to be like back here in Texas.
Yeah, I questioned that a few weeks ago as far as the possibility of a coordinator change. Here's what I'm going to say is it's so hard to, at this point, start changing verbiage and changing things that are said. I hate the thought of riding. I don't even want to say it's like it's not riding this horse out. It's riding this mule, and it is a mule right now in a damn thoroughbred race. But you can't even ride this thing out. So I don't want them to make any kind of. Had they won today, and had they beat Washington, I'd be all on board for a trade. But I'm not on board for a trade right now. I mean, this is a football team it's probably, right where we thought they were, a 7-8 win team. And we get excited from week to week because everybody's starved for a winner around here. We get excited thinking, okay, man, this thing could flip right here. And then we go get this big piece of humble pie and start questioning where we're at. I don't think this is time for a knee-jerk response. I think it's time to say, okay, let's point to Thanksgiving. Let's see if Overshown can give us a little help here. Let's see if Ravel might give us a little help. I just don't know that you can right now, and God, this is hard to say. I mean, I just don't know that you can perfume this pig right now. And that's what it is. They're not good on defense. And this is not anything new. This is not some sort of, boy, we have really done us our homework here, and we've come up and figured out this is not a very good team on that side of the football. That they're just not. And they had a guy. They had the best pass rusher in the league. And I don't think he would have made a whole hell of a lot of difference today when they were getting gashed in the running game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I felt like coming into this game, my feelings about the Todd Archer conversation would have been more so if they were able to win these two games, Carolina, and then who they play next week? Broncos?
Washington. Yep.
I was thinking to myself that maybe if they were able to get a couple wins, that you should go try to figure out what you could do, because this offense clearly has some pop to them. They have some skill players. They have the quarterback playing well. I think the play caller has been pretty good outside of that crazy drive. I thought that you could try to get something out of what you have offensively. But at this point, like Coach was saying, I don't know if it's salvageable in that sense. I mean, I wouldn't touch the back end at this point. I would do what Coach was saying, is wait on Ravel to come back and figure out that side of things. But your front seven, I think adding another pass rusher and a linebacker would most definitely help you. You're not getting anything from your veteran linebackers that's killed you. Obviously, Sanborn was out today with the concussion. Murray was man in the mic, but those guys trigger it so late. And shout out to Zach Wolchuk from 105. He said their math isn't correct. They're not sure if it's correct, but he had Rico Dowdle had at least 61 yards before contact today.
Wow.
I mean, it's just egregious. You know, so I guess I'm at the point too where I'm questioning what the right thing to do is. I just don't want to go through a whole season of the offense always feeling like they have to press, and then us just knowing that if you need to stop, you're not going to get it. Nothing about what they've shown you to this point should give you any faith. At this point, you should be going for it on every fourth if you get one. You're going to have to, I mean, the pressure that it puts on the offense is just, and for them to have to operate that way for the rest of the season, I think would not be healthy in a sense. So for me, I guess I'm in the same place where I'm just like, I don't know what the right thing to do is because it feels like way too much to fix. I'm just concerned about what the offense feels like and what things are going to be like on that side of the ball moving forward.
Well, I think the other point you make is great without saying it, and that is you might be wasting one of the greatest offensive years in NFL history. You could be just wasting that and wasting pick. I mean, you don't even have your best receiver, and you were the number one offense in the NFL, and you're wasting an unbelievable effort by Pickens. I mean, to think that this is going to be, I don't have any reason. Nothing points me to say this team is going to slow down any offensively.
No.
Minus the quarterback getting hurt.
Yeah, your offensive line, you still had guys out today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you're going to get healthier there. I think the play callers are going to continue to gel with guys and get guys involved. We saw he's been setting up that Hunter Lipke pass, like to the red zone for the last couple of weeks, I want to say. So, I think you got a smart play caller and those guys, but that's my biggest concern. That's my biggest concern because Pickens is cuckoo for a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And I just don't know how you keep these guys together. Because again, at some point in time, it's gonna become lip service. I've been in a locker room. I know, Stretch. I know you coached, but I've been in a locker room enough. I've had enough conversations with players enough, and at some point in time, it does start to irk them. It starts to bother them, and I don't want to see, there being any issues in the locker room because of this and difference in opinions and all that type of stuff. Because it sounds like, from what I know, defensively, there's been some tension over on that side of the ball anyway. Discussions being held with coaches and players trying to suggest things and favorites and all this stuff. So it's already boiling over on the defensive side. How do you keep this offensive side of the ball encouraged and keep them working as a team? You know what I'm saying? Like that's something I'm concerned about.
You got to rely on the guy that's making the most money to hold it together, which he's shown that he can. But you're right. I mean, there's going to be when you're 2-3-1, and realistically, we could see a path here where certainly they had opportunity to win the Philadelphia game if CD makes either one of those catches. But you had an opportunity today. You mentioned a bad play call. That was a bad screen at the wrong time that was called. And then Dak tries to throw the football away on second down. And, of course, he doesn't know that he's trying to throw it away. So he fields the other swing. And it is back-to-back plays where you lose 5 and then 6 or 7. And it's 3rd and 21 when your defense just went 3 and out. And so that was, to me, that was really the difference right there in losing the football game, because you had a chance to win it. Is that the reason you lost? No, I'm talking about the reason you didn't win, because you had that chance to get it done. But I'm still saying it will make the personnel side of Jerry Jones, how he sees and what he sees, they're going to lose. I'm serious. They're going to lose their mind at the thought of we are wasting an unbelievable offense here. We're because we can't do Rudy Poo nothing on the other side of the football.
Here we go.
Another part of another thing that I wanted to bring up, and since if we're gonna go there, I'm an analyst. I got to do my job. If we are gonna talk about the offense in any way, and their lack of efficiency, I definitely want to talk about some of the pre-snap penalties came up. I think Tyler Smith had a false start. I think we had a couple of guys, we had a few illegal motions and shifts. Those were some issues. Also too, coming into this game, something that I was really looking out for is that the Carolina Panthers, they play zone at the second highest clip in the NFL, only second to the Cowboys. And so I looked at Dak Prescott has been nails against the zone. And guess what Carolina comes out and does? Plays man more than what I think they've played all season. And so I think that at the beginning of the game might have gave Dallas some, they had a couple 3 and outs. They weren't that efficient. I think that Dallas also had to figure out some of what they were doing on the back end that they hadn't really seen to that point, because Carolina just hasn't done that as much. So I want the offense to get into more of a rhythm to start some of these games. It seems like they take a little time. It's not until about halfway through the first, maybe the beginning of the second, that we see them actually get into a rhythm where you're like, okay, they settled in, they know what's going on. And I understand their scripts. I understand, coach, that, you got to feel the game and that takes some time. But just hopefully that they're able to pick up on that a little bit more, because that was a big change that I didn't expect to see in this game from Carolina, because it's kind of bold of them, to be honest. So,
yeah. And I think initially they were trying to travel, Horn with Pickens. And I think that I think it caught them a time or two. And then they got really exposed when they tried to put Jackson on him. And then they hit the slant for the touchdown. And so, they were trying to figure it out too. And I keep giving the Cowboys a lot of credit. Yeah, they had a couple of rough, like you were saying. I mean, you got to eliminate the pre-snap penalties. You can't fumble the ball down there, 1st and goal.
Oh, that hurt.
Get under center and fumble the damn football.
That hurt.
But what we're saying, I think what we're saying here is the same thing, Iisha. We're nitpicking the offense because they have to be perfect playing with that kind of.
I'm tired.
And that's why I'm not cursing. I'm not going to curse today. So Sunday, I'm going to be kind.
Yeah, Rico Dowdle said they wasn't buckled up. That's what he said. Sure wasn't.
Against the law.
Then flew out the window, flew out the windshield at this point. Shoot.
Roadkill. All right. When we come back, I have 2 specific questions about the offense for both of you. We'll do that when we return. And also, Coach, I thought of you during the game about something you said a while back that I think really fits into what we're talking about. We'll do that coming up as the Cowboys Squad Show continues. All right. Well, as we mentioned earlier, this episode is brought to you by Mazda, and Mazda is moving the game forward. For those who believe it's not just about playing the game, it's about redefining it. There are moments that do more than put points on the board. They move crowds, move culture, and keep moving the game forward. So when you follow what moves you, the unexpected is only the beginning. And just like there's more to every highlight, there's more to every Mazda vehicle. Mazda, move and be moved. All right, welcome back to the Cowboys Squad Show. Iisha Morrison, the coach, Glenn Stretchmith, after the Cowboys fall in Carolina 30-27. So we talked about the offense there a little bit. I think huge disappointment, though, with the running game specifically. Javonte Williams, who has just been outstanding, 13 carries, 29 yards. The Cowboys had 31 yards rushing total the entire game. What went wrong with the run game today? What did you guys see?
They just got their A-word whooped.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that, again.
They just got their A-word whooped up there.
those guys on the other side of the football, that they get a check too. And guess what? They can make you become one-dimensional. I don't care if we're talking about the Carolina Panthers or Bemidji State. They can make you become one-dimensional if they want to. And quite frankly, they bowed up, and they're not heavy up the field guys. They really are. They're squared stance guys that kind of play up and down the line of scrimmage. And so they just basically said, we're not going to let this running back beat us. And you know what? That's what they did. They were there to stop the run, played physical. Iisha said it. They got whipped up. They got out physicaled in this football game on both sides of the football. And sometimes that's hard to take.
Yeah, the Panthers have a good defensive, especially a good defensive tackle rotation there with Derek Brown, Iisha Morrison. Those guys really came up and put a lot of stress on your interior. I mean, you just saw them in the backfield getting penetration all day. I thought that their corners, which is something I expected from them, their corners and their safeties also too, they flood the flats really well, and they were able to come out and tackle. Dallas wasn't able to get much going on the outside. We haven't talked about it much, but Jadon Blue got in a few opportunities, and it feels like, I could be wrong, it feels like he's not being decisive enough. And also, too, the offensive line has to adjust to a player like him. Like, that's something that I've talked to numerous offensive lines about, is that, you have different clocks for different runners. You have different angles for different runners. You have to get a feel. Like, I think they both, like the running back and the offensive line, need some time to get a feel for each other. But I, all in all, feel like Jadon Blue is he seems unsure out there. And that's not helping your run game at all, because there were times that they gave him the ball on first down, second down, and Dallas was behind the chains a lot this week. And that's not, and Dak was able to get them in some third and manageables, and then some of those big third downs to Pickens. But other than that, though, they did not play well ahead of the sticks. I thought that Trevin Wallace and Christian Rosenbaum, if I'm not mistaken, was in a position to where he almost had his job taken. So for him to come out and play the way that he played, kind of man in the middle of the field today as well. So I just felt like Dallas just couldn't win off the line today. It's as simple as that. They weren't strong enough at the point of attack. And to your point, Coach, we should expect that now, right? Is that teams are not going to let Javonte Williams beat them. So then you have to attack them in the passing game. And Dallas was able to do that. They just couldn't run the ball to sustain drives the way that I think that they needed to at least give the defense some breathers, if that would have made a difference, to be honest.
Oh, you made a good point. I mean, they played behind the sticks, but they played behind the sticks because they couldn't run the football on first down. And that's something that they become somewhat accustomed to. 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5. And when it's 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10, it becomes a different call. You're looking at a different call on the call sheet. And so that's the thing that I thought Schottenheimer did a good job at adjusting to that. He allowed them to get some plays made down the field, and I loved how he got Pickens open on that dig ball. He was short, and then they ran the motion all the way across. They bump out. He runs the inside dig and gets a big first down catch on third down. So they did some really good things, but they weren't perfect. And because of that, I mean, we can sit here and just keep cutting this thing up, but the quarterback has to be perfect, and they have to be perfect offensively. And I'm afraid this is something we're going to be, what do we got, 13 more games left? 12 more games left?
Yeah. What was this, 5, 6, 11?
Yes, this was 6.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got 11 more and a bye week, right? We'll get on here and be saying the same thing when they don't play anybody.
They're not going to lose that week.
Bye. Yeah, a stat that sticks out to me. Dallas was 5 of 12 on third down today. They were 2 of 2 on fourth, so just the fact that they had to go for it on a fourth twice, yuck. Carolina was 3 of 8 on third down. However, they had 11 rushing first downs. They had 27 passing first downs. I mean, talk about you not being able to get off the field, and we're talking about Dallas.
What?
The opposite is Carolina was able to get first downs at will today. They weren't even having to be in third down situations.
That's the key. They didn't even have to get third down.
That's insane, and so I mean, I just think it's just unacceptable. Yo, I just find this I find it egregious that it was that bad today. I mean, these guys just moved you off the ball like it was nothing. I know I don't even want to watch the tape and how efficiently they were able to run the ball today. And Bryce Young, he got out the game chilling. I'm sure he might not even need to get ice or treatment or nothing, because you barely pinched him today. So it's just not enough. And to your point, Coach, I guess I would say about the offense. I thought the tight end usage was helpful today. I was looking for Ferg to, I thought that he looked a little bit more spry than what I've seen him in some of his routes today.
Yankee shuffle was good too.
Good. Yeah. So, yeah, but that's about all you can talk about at this point. Dak, Pickens, yeah. Brian Flournoy in a couple of spots.
Ferguson, Flournoy made a few plays again for you. He's starting to feel comfortable in the offense. The offense,
fine.
We had a couple things and a couple of breakdowns there, but hey, you got to be perfect. It's just where we're at with it. And it's just where we're at with it. And I find it interesting that somebody like Todd Archer would start kind of throwing out there a coordinator change, because I don't know what that. I'm not sure what that angle would be. I'm not sure where you would.
Maybe anybody within. I don't know anybody or
no,
anybody.
There's not anybody.
Oh no. Todd is the most in that there you can be. So it's little.
No. I mean, could the Cowboys promote somebody?
You're talking about an on staff coaching change from somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, most of those guys were his guys from Chicago.
That's what I was about to say. I don't think anybody's going to feel comfortable. And who hasn't gotten a lot of talking about that I think does matter is David Overstreet, the secondary coach as well. I mean, Coach, we've been sitting up here confused about technique, communication, what's going on here. Eberflus is the DC, but there are positional coaches as well. So maybe we need to be trying to ask more questions to him and find out, what's going on with those guys. Because if I know what I know from what I have heard in the building, there is some miscommunications through the secondary, from the secondary to the secondary coach and vice versa.
Yeah.
So
usually if you hear that, that's right. I mean, usually if you're hearing that, that's good information.
Barnacles.
Well, Coach, the thing I thought of, you've said this from the beginning, and Todd Archer also brought up about maybe making a trade, but something you said early on, and I agree with you. You've got to hit with the picks that you have. This team needs some good draft talent in the next couple of years, and I think it would be a mistake to give that away or to burn through those for something that's really not going to make a difference.
Jeff, can I say something? As someone that has covered the draft, how do I say this in a nice way? Dallas also, depending on the draft and way they have done, is what's hurting them right now also.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the coach said that also.
Coach. I mean, yeah, Coach talked about it last week. Like we talked about it last week, that this, they take it as their calling card that they draft and develop, but development takes time. Progression takes time. You need adequate veterans in some of these spots, so these young guys can come along and get to a point to where you're confident in them. And that's not what's happening. And that's what we're seeing on the defensive side of the ball, like Coach was talking about last week. So whereas I'm like, yes, you want to hit on some of these draft picks, you got to do something to help this offense now. because this offensive staff is going to be here. If I'm not mistaken, they're under contract for 3 years. Unless either one of them gets a head coaching job, they're going to be here. You're going to have the quarterback. You're going to have this young offensive line. Maybe you bring back Javonte Williams and you can get him another running back. Like, you have something to build upon offensively. Do something on the defensive side of the ball, whether it's the offense or whatever. You got to figure out how to make this more balanced. And I don't know if the draft is the only way that you can do that, like Coach was saying last week. You need it.
Can you phrase it in a plural format, Iisha? Something they need to do. Some things. Some things they need to address. Some,
Some of the things.
Right now you've got a first-round pick in Mozzie Smith that you can't even get active. You've got Marshawn Nealand, who just kind of looks like a guy running around out there. Sam Williams doesn't look like he's giving you much. And so when you have those first and second round guys that aren't producing right now, and the other thing I think you're making a good point too is from a free agent standpoint. I'm not talking about just evaluating from a draft standpoint.
Talk about it.
I'm talking about evaluating from a free agent standpoint. Talk to me about who is the best young linebacker that's out there. Who is the best young cover safety that's out there? Who is the best, defensive tackle? And I get it. The whole league's looking for him. I got that. But I want you to go tell me, go find me the next Fred Warner. Go find me the next what's the Denver safety that Hufanga. Go find me one of those guys and prioritize that.
Wait, Coach. Wait. Jeff, wait. Coach, say, what's his name again? Who's the safety name? What's his name?
Is it Hufanga?
No.
The damn guy for Denver. How's that? He used to play for San Francisco. I don't give a damn what his name is. What is his name anyway?
It's Hufanga.
You pronounce it. I'm all ears.
Oh, it's Hufanga, but I'm screaming because I just thought it was just your twang. I didn't think you were saying it wrong. I thought it was just your accent. I was laughing at how country you sounded.
Hey, if I want to play, get the cards out. I ain't here to play.
Oh, but you're right though. Free agency as well. They did have some decent free agent pickups in the offseason that's helped you, but as of right now, it's just not enough. And you're not supplementing these young guys, and you're not giving these young guys an opportunity to make mistakes either. Because we being really hard on I know I am once I go back and watch the film, Shamar James, also too Maris Leofold. Like, these guys don't even have the opportunity. They don't got the time to make mistakes.
Great point.
Because you're depending on them.
They're both playing out. They're both balling out, though. I mean, James had a lot of tackles today, even after coming out briefly, and Leofold had the big hit. So, all right, final timeout, and when we come back, our final thoughts. We'll do that coming up. This is the Cowboys Squad Show. All right, got to give it up for FanDuel and what they're doing. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you do not want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Whether you're a casual fan or love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Okay, final segment of the Cowboys Squad Show after the Cowboys were stunned in Carolina 30-27. So, hey, the NFL doesn't wait for anybody. Every week is a brutal week. Every week is a tough week. And the Cowboys come back home and they will host Washington next Sunday. Short week because Washington's playing tomorrow. But again, I mean, especially now when you're 2-3-1, every game, it doesn't matter who you're playing, is going to be a big game. And so, and it's for the other team, the Cowboys are always a big game.
Well, I guess a big game for them to break records. Have get right games.
Yeah.
Do things that have never been done before. Bryce Young today looked like an all-star. Caleb Williams today, when Dallas played him, looked like an all-star. I mean, you have quarterbacks coming here, like people are literally marking you as a good get right game. It's nasty. I'm tired. Um, what are we doing? Our last little points? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
my last little point is Dallas, if you are not going to figure out what you're going to do defensively, if you're not going to do anything for the rest of the season, if you're going to keep it how it is, you better be aggressive in the draft and aggressive in free agency. And a part of that free agency probably needs to be re-signing George Pickens. Because if you're not going to nourish your defense, you at least need your offense to stay the way that it is and not have a drop and continue to try to do what you need to do to build the defense. That's where I'm at. I think he's remarkable. Everything I know about him is that he's been fantastic in the locker room, fantastic for the locker room. What he is doing right now and see these absences is something you have not had on this team for a long time. And I also think that Dallas having a true X. Now they moved him around today, but I think having an X, which Dallas hasn't had in quite some time, is really opening up the field for the rest of the guys to operate. So that's my point. Do what you got to do because he's a hell of a player.
No, I think he is absolutely needs to be a priority. The problem is he has the same agent that
Please.
that Micah had. So I'm not sure that Jerry's going to have much luck dealing with him from an agent's standpoint. Now, you since you belly laughed at me, I've got his name pulled up, and Jeff,
No.
I'll let you pronounce it. Hufanga is the spelling. How do you pronounce that, Jeff?
I would say Hufanga.
That's what I said. Now you should laughed at me like she was on the front car of the runaway mine train.
Listen, I was laughing at the twang. That's what I was laughing at. I wasn't laughing at you how you were saying it. Well,
I got you. I'm from Texas. That's just how it goes. I'm from down here in God's country. I've been called a hillbilly lots of times, and if that's the worst, I'm in good shape.
My God. What you got, Coach? What's your last point?
Well, I think at the end of the day here, I don't want to. It's painful to see it. Them wasting this type of offensive output. But I say that kind of, and then the other part of me says, do I want them to go make a trade? Let's just say, I mean, let's just throw out there. Would Trey Hendrickson be a good 1-year rental for the Cowboys? I don't think so at this time. I think, would he make your defense better? Hell yeah, right now. But is it really going to get you where you want to be? And here's the other thing. But let's be honest. At the beginning of the year, they're 2-3-1. If you didn't look at the schedule and check the games and think they should be 4-2, well, then you're not being realistic with yourself, because they've lost 2 games in the Bears and the Panthers that everybody thought the Cowboys were going to win. Now, they tied a game that everybody thought they were going to lose, but, there's 11 games left here, and do I think that this team, you've got Philadelphia now has 2 losses. You had a chance to put yourself within a half a game of being at the top of the division.
Talk about
it. You had
it.
a running back who used to play for you, who challenged you, and you didn't step up to the challenge with a chance to get within a half a game of first place. I mean, what more do we have to play for here? And I think that's the most frustrating thing to get on here as analysts and talk about this, because it was right in front of you. You had every opportunity. It was right in front of you, and you didn't get it done. So I'm just not for making some sort of a knee-jerk change. I think if there's a young guy out there, if you can find whoever that young guy is and make a play, I'd be fine. But I guess I'm not for a defensive rental at this time. And I'm not, because, Iisha, what you said is there are multiple needs on that side of the football.
Yeah. That's where we're at, man.
All right. Well, just hearing you talk about that, I mean, the Bears loss was ugly, and this loss today, I think, was ugly in a different way, and I think it exposed even more. And like I said, it felt like a one step forward last week, two steps back this week, and so, hey, it's about adjustments and what do you do, and when you get a bad loss like this, maybe they didn't get the Rico buckle up message, but they got it now, and they're going to have all week to think about it before a huge game next Sunday at home against Washington. So we shall see. We shall see how they respond, and we'll see what the defense plays like on Sunday against the Commanders. All right, Iisha, quick shout out for your show, your separate show. When is that on this week? When can people?
Oh yeah, y'all can catch me on Girls Talk, Boys Talk at 8 a.m. Central Time on DallasCowboys.com. Come see me.
Nice.
Breaking it down, talking about this ugly loss. So
yeah, do a great job, and we look forward to that. Coach, I know you're going to be all over the place, TV tonight, and your radio show during the week, and we'll be back with you on Wednesday for our midweek squad show. That'll be fun. We look forward to that. All right. Have a good week. We'll see what the Cowboys can do. Thank you to everybody for jumping in with your comments and for watching us. Love you guys. Appreciate it. Wish it was after a win today, but we'll see what they do next weekend. Huge game coming up. Final score today, though, the Cowboys fall in Carolina 30-27. This has been the Cowboys Squad Show.